Meet me. Welcome back, boys. And today we're going to do kind of a silly video because, within the past few months with all these crazy heroes like Rimuru and Belian and all this crazy stuff happening, Conquer Lilius, we're always talking about how broken everything is and power creep, so I figured let's mix it up a bit. We're always talking about what's broken, so let's give some love to the stuff that sucks. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 worst ML5s in the game because, most of us probably forgot that they exist. And it's time to show them some love. So obviously this is my list. You may not agree with me. I don't really care. Obviously, there's no 100% answer to this. But I think not many people would argue with my top 4. I needed to pick someone for number 5, and it might make some people salty, but let's just get started. So my number 5 is ML Ken, which is funny because if you're a long-time E7 player like me, ML Ken was long considered one of the most busted heroes in the game. Like back in the day, he was a juggernaut, and everyone he could literally just 1v4 people, and everyone hated everyone who pulled ML Ken. But now he's kind of just trash. And he even got buffed recently, although some people didn't consider it a buff. They kind of forced the ER build on everyone. The problem with him is there are just way too many, a lot of heroes don't get bad because of any changes to them, but generally balance changes in the game occur as a result of new heroes that come out. And the problem is, there's just too many damn things in the game that can one-tap ML Ken. And if you build him to not get controlled by building him with a lot of ER, he either doesn't do enough damage or doesn't have enough tank. Like, even with the best gear, you can't have 300 ER, 5,000 attack, 300 crit damage, and 20k HP. It's just not possible. So building him is pretty freaking hard, and you spend all that time and effort building him, and he gets one-shotted by a Riolet, or a Rimuru, or a Riolet, or just about, LQC, just about anything in the game. So, unfortunately, he's pretty ass now. He's undraftable in most situations. PvE, he's still perfectly fine. And Guild Wars offense, he's still very good. In Guild Wars offense, you can definitely use ML Ken to great effect. But in terms of RTA, he's pretty garbo. The only thing I can think of using him against is maybe he'd do okay against Belian, but there are better things you can use. So that one might be a little iffy to some people, but honestly, I just can't fit him into any draft. And I tried for a while, and I just gave up because it just doesn't work. Number 4, Spez. Spez is kind of weird because some people do have him built, and he's actually kind of scary because if you're stunned, he will kill you. You don't even need to build him very strong to do it. You can build him, very tanky on counter. If he hits a stun target with this, I don't know. I think he has the highest multis in the game or something, because I've seen some ridiculous damage from it. I remember versing one where the guy was running the artifact that makes him go stealth or something, or maybe that's what this hero does. I don't even know what this hero does, but he kept going into stealth. I guess Wind Rider, and he just kept one-shotting everything on my team. Of course, it was a low-ranked player, so I had no idea what he was doing, and I walked into a control team. But he does do crazy amount of damage, and I don't have him, so I can't test him. He does seem like a lot of fun, but I will say in the last, 1,000+ RTA matches, I've never really seen him. Maybe I've seen once or twice when I'm climbing. Other than that, he's borderline unusable. Immunity totally shuts him down, because if they have immunity or high ER heroes, he literally can't do anything. So, yeah, pretty atrocious. Alright, next. Solitaria of the Snow. So, she's one of these stupid RNG heroes. She's kind of like Blind in the sense that, well, actually, no, she's not like Blind at all. But she's one of these heroes where, just by existing, she does something annoying. I was going to say it's similar to Belian because just by existing, she takes away souls. But that works against every hero in the game, pretty much. whereas this only works against focus heroes. So in practice, this shuts down things like Violet and SSB, stuff like that. But that's just way too specific. And that might be enough to make her draftable in certain situations, right? Especially with Violet becoming popular now. The problem is this move. It's okay, but realistically, it needs like a cheap soul burn to allow her to ignore effect resist. Because I tried using her for a while, she just get 15%ed all the time, and then like I just never wanted to use her again. When she works, she can be pretty annoying. And then her S1, it's actually pretty annoying. I did lose to Solitarias a long time ago where she just kept stun locking my entire team. It kind of just reminded me of old school Dizzy. But the thing is, AoE attacks are punished very heavily nowadays. Right? Like everything has a built-in Elbrus or uses Elbrus. Like using this against a Belian or a Rem, anything like that, you're just asking to get pummeled to death. This is gonna proc AOL. It's just bad. So I don't know. Like I expect this hero to be buffed at some point in the future because she's borderline unusable. The two solutions I could think to making her okay is either give her a barrier after her S3, because the real problem is she gets popped out of this thing immediately and just dies, and she's just dead weight. So either give her a barrier, kind of like Dignus Orb to at least let her survive a few turns, give her a soul burn that ignores effect resist, or make this S1 uncounterable. Without like some combination or at least one of those things, I think she's just going to continue to be completely useless. Next on the docket is DJ Bazaar, which is funny. He was actually used by some top players back in the day. He was like a great cleanser. If anyone had a 300 ER unit built, it was usually DJ Bazaar. And back in the day of, control comps and stuff and a limited pool of cleansers, that was a very valuable thing to have in your kit. Like, a lot of newer players might think he was never good, but he was actually quite good back in the day. The real problem with DJ Bazaar is ML Kekwerik kind of outclasses him in every way now. Like, he could do everything DJ Bazaar does and better, well, other than the CR push. And, yeah, he's just so much better than DJ Bazaar, and he doesn't need any effect resist. All those stats can go into something else. Because the problem is, you build DJ Bazaar with 300 ER, which he kind of needs to be able to fulfill his role. And yeah, after he uses his S3, you know what he does? He dies. That's basically his S1 should just say he dies, because that's usually what happens. He S3s and then he drops dead. So that's not a very good addition to anyone's kit. They need to have him do something other on his other turns, or they need to give something other than just immunity. Like, I think giving him attack buff would be kind of broken. But I don't know, maybe like a defense buff or something. I don't know, but who knows? Who knows if they'll buff? They did buff him. He didn't used to have this critical hit damage reduction. They gave it to him because, again, Smallgate knew they were all running him with 300 ER, and he usually just died instantly. Like, I'll just drop like Tomo and one shot it usually. And yeah, I haven't seen him in a really, really long time. Like, granted, I don't play Control, but still, I think it's borderline unusable. And now for the grand finale. I mean, the interesting thing about ML5s is it was actually kind of hard to make this list because, honestly, most of them are pretty good. Like, you look at this row, all of them kind of have their place, right? Like, yeah, some are going to be used more than others, but no one's going to say Briarwitch is bad or BMH is bad or LR Crow is bad. Like, yeah, they're not used that much anymore, but they can still be drafted sometimes, and they're good. But here's one hero that's so bad, and likely the next buff target. Well, who knows with Smilegate, but should be the next buff target. This piece of hot garbage right here. This is by far the worst ML5 in the game, and I dare anyone to tell me otherwise. I remember when, I feel bad for all the people that plus 15'd this pile of garbage when it came out, because at the time, like, I was wrong about this here, because on paper it sounded good, right? Like, oh, well, I mean, this was also before ML Kekwerik existed, but back when Control was still a problem, we're like, oh, wow, we can just cleanse our whole team, because this is kind of like the ML Kekwerik idea, right? Except ML Kekwerik's just reducing debuffs by 1 turn in practice works so much better. The problem with this is it's just so wonky to use. It countered Cerise Fairy Tale Tenebria back in the day when that was actually a problem. Like, no one really does that now. But now it's just so bad. And, like, I ran into this hero twice this season, and both times it just didn't work because she cleanses herself at the worst time and then just gets stunned or silenced right after, and she can't even S3. So this hero's so bad. And you know what? One simple buff that would make her a lot better, like still probably not good, but would make her a lot better is when she consumes all fighting spirit, it increases her CR by 40% and grants immunity for 1 turn. That would actually make her a lot better. And still probably not good because she still sucks compared to ML Kekwerik, but it would at least make her not completely useless like she is now. Like, I just laugh every time I see this because it never seems to cleanse when you need it to. And she just gets control. Like, against a smart opponent, they'll manipulate the crap out of this and screw you over. And the S3, I mean, reducing skill cooldowns, pretty good on paper, but it just doesn't work. I don't know how they would make this thing better, but it stinks. It just stinks. Her S1 stinks, her S2 super stinks, and her S3 stinks even worse than stink. So she's just a stinky hero. She's terrible. She's absolutely terrible. Cherami Lei is very embarrassed I've even given her voices because she's so bad. And yeah, if they ever rerun her on Mystics, you probably should pull for her because she's so bad that she's probably going to be really good in a few months because they'll give her some broken thing. Like, they're going to make this reset your skill cooldown by 20 turns or something. So anyways, that's my list. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Tell me your own top 5 in the comments below. Maybe some guys, some ML Ken fans will be furious at me. The only other thing I could consider swapping with ML Ken was Silverblade Araminta, but I just love Silverblade Araminta even though I don't really use her anymore, and I've honestly seen her drafted more times than ML Ken this season, so yeah, that was the only one that was really tied for ML Ken, but I don't know, maybe we'll cut him some slack. At least he's good at Guild Wars. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till next time, boys. Peace out.